Link, and it's our pleasure to welcome now Joe Max Higgins, the CEO of the Golden Triangle Development Link. Joe Max, always good to see you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Big old day to hear unveiling this fantastic megasite. One thing that I think we have to acknowledge is that the governor, he understands that it's critical to have these sites developed, ready to go, shovel ready, I like to call them. How important is that when you're recruiting industry?
Well, I mean, without it, you're not gonna really play on the big deals. They want to come in, know that they can go, and because it takes them a while to get it designed and then go.
Yeah.
And they can't wait a year or 2 years for due diligence to be done for the soil borings or the wetland studies. They gotta know.
Yeah.
Most of these companies are missing profitability every day they're not running.
Yeah, it's speed to market. It's the name of the game, especially the rate at which things move in our economy these days. So, do you have any thoughts about what might be the appropriate suitors for this site? Beautiful land, by the way.
Well, thank you. Well, when we did the first megasite, we thought it was an automotive assembly plant. When we did the second megasite, we thought it was an automotive assembly plant. When we did the third one, we thought it was an automotive assembly plant.
Yeah.
Well, we're making steel, we're making aluminum, we're making tires, and we're making diesel engines. Still no automotive assembly plant. But I tell people that generally the projects find us. And generally they fit into what we're putting together.
Okay.
We've already shown this on a very competitive project state or nationwide. It was 13 state search, and it was huge. It was 5 million square feet of building, several thousand jobs, and so my guess is this is going to emerge as the preeminent megasite in Mississippi. Just because of its size and its attributes and all the stuff, and generally they're not going to stay on the market long.
Right.
And the way we've done it is the county's bought it. We're going to be infrastructuring it. We generally try to do all that work up front, so when company comes, and if we have a special session and the legislature gives them money, they can spend that inside the fence, offsetting their cost. Whereas if they go somewhere else, they got to build a road, they got to build a sewer line, they got to build something else. So, I'm in high hopes that we'll move it fairly quickly, but you never know.
What's the attraction for this area, this region of the state, Joe Max?
Well, I think you got major university down the street. You got the community university. You do have these other major industries that make stuff that, especially in the steel and aluminum arena. It's only safe to assume that getting somebody that uses steel or aluminum as a raw product to make their finished product is probably a likely suspect. But we see defense-related industries looking at it, aerospace companies looking at it. Of course, they can use aluminum. So there's a wide range of things that can probably go on this site, and it's so big. The renderings that we got out in the tent, there's 3 of them. And one of them has an automotive assembly plant. If you want to know what an automotive assembly plant looks like, we've got it shown. There is a 4 million square foot building with a host of smaller buildings. When I say smaller, million square feet buildings. There's one drawing that has a 6 million square foot building on it. That's PACCAR, Yokohama, the steel mill, and the aluminum mill all together. That's how big that site is and how big a major building can go.
Speaking of steel, aluminum, how might the president's tariff policies figure into that, Joe Max, for domestic production?
Yeah, I think there are guys on the steel and aluminum. I think they're in good shape. They like where they are. That's a pretty protected industry anyway.
Right. Well, that's what I was thinking. It'd be probably boosted.
Yeah, it is. And but some of our other guys now are they're not faring as well. PACCAR. They import parts for the engines. They export the engines and stuff like that. So they're getting hit coming and going on some of this stuff. It just depends on which industry you are, how it hits you.
Yeah, I see. Well, I think all that will find some equilibrium and sort out, and hopefully that's in everybody's benefit. That's the goal.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. How long you been working on this? Can you tell us?
The Cinco?
Yeah.
Well, so 2 years.
Okay.
Just about 2 years. When the aluminum mill came, the aluminum mill took 2,200 acres. The biochar took 100 acres. And there is a future project that we've been holding land for 300 acres. So we automatically lost 25, 26, 2,700 acres. Water, sewer, publicly owned, gone.
Yeah.
We found ourselves with our drawers pulled down. And so very quickly we said, let's start finding another site to develop.
Sure.
We went to the landowner, negotiated that pretty quickly. He gave us 2 years to close on the property. During that 2 years, we did all of our due diligence.
Okay.
Cultural resources, wetlands, floodplain stuff, soil borings. Never in the history of TVA has anybody scoped a site for electricity. Normally, a company comes in and they say, well, it'll take 24 months to engineer and plan it, 24 months to build it. That's too long. We paid money up front to have it scoped for 150 megawatt load.
Smart.
And then they finished that in probably late fall. We bought the site. We anticipate getting a grant in June to design the water, sewer, and pump station. We anticipate maybe getting an award today to build the water tank and the water line. And we're well on our way. But about 2.5 years, and we're ready to sell it now.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And again, how important is that when you can show a prospect, like you said, they kind of find you. They probably already know everything you're doing, right? They know this site's prepped in the state it is in.
Well, one of the things we did, we named it Cinco, and that's my idea. It's a mic drop idea. Well, why do you call it Cinco? Because it's our 5th one. Okay. Tupelo has one. Chattanooga has one. Huntsville has one. We have 5.
Yeah.
But we put together a promotional box with authentic Mexican food and snacks and stuff, and named it Cinco, and sent it out to the 100 most prominent site development consultants in the country.
Yeah.
They got them on the 5th of this month.
I got you. That makes sense.
And we're getting call after call. The girl that certified this Megasite got one. I took her to dinner last night with a group, and she said, I've shown this to everybody that'll look. There was more thought put into this, and you have our business talking about your site as a result.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. So infrastructure is critical as well in economic development. You're blessed here with fantastic infrastructure, but my guess is you're going to need more.
Oh, yeah. So when we started the first Megasite, we had 2 water tanks out here and 2 wells and a small wastewater plant. All of those have been expanded, substantially expanded. We've got about 3 million gallons of surplus sewage capacity available today. The Cinco Megasite gets a 1 million gallon tank. That's tied to 2 million gallons across the road. It gets 2 more wells. That's tied to 4 wells across the street. So we will have 4 million gallons of water in the air.
Fantastic.
About 7,500 gallons of pumping capacity, treatment, and then 3 million gallons of sewer. Most places don't have that.
Yeah. You're serviced by TVA from a power perspective. I'm certain this is going to require some investment on their part. Where do they stand?
It is. Well, and again, that scoping process is where it's unique.
Okay.
When they finish this, they will have their right of way, they will have their environmental done, they will have the material list of everything they need, and we will be able to commit to a company within 24 months. We'll have your juice up to 150 megawatts.
Yeah.
Now, will there be a cost to the company? Sure, but it won't be insurmountable. It won't be something that they can't or won't do.
Yeah. Well, and that's become a huge issue, as you well know, in economic development, that he who's got the power has got the currency to bring in the deals.
And this area is the most robust, redundant power that TVA has maybe in the system.
Okay.
You've got the biggest electricity customer on the whole TVA system is the steel mill.
Sure.
When the aluminum mill goes online, I think it will be the 3rd biggest customer on their system. Those 2 companies will constitute Atmos Gas's number 1 and number 2 customer on their multi-state system. So we're already set up for big.
Joe Max, to those out there who are maybe concerned about how this might impact the availability of power and even electricity rates, what's your response to that?
Well, TVA, Entergy, Southern Corporation, all these guys are going to have to make more.
Yeah.
Good news, I guess, and bad news. TVA has a group that is looking at power to 2035 and then to 50. I've been invited to be on that committee. At my last meeting, Meta and Google sat beside me, and SDI was in the room. So you got the big boys sitting there talking about where are we, what are we doing. TVA is building a new 550 megawatt power plant in Caledonia in Lowndes County right now.
Yeah.
There's already a combined cycle plant up there, and there was a 3rd one planned a few years ago, and we're trying to get them to go ahead and pull the trigger on the 3rd one.
I think it's nothing but good news. And the other cool thing is that you're seeing the actual users get involved in the process as well.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know we always had that, but we're seeing that now for sure. Joe Max, always a pleasure talking to you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Great work. Joe Max Higgins, CEO of Golden Triangle Development LINK. Up next is Bain Nichols, president of Nichols